Today, I want to talk about one of my favorite rappers or MCs. I really want to talk about because what does it take to make a great MC? You know, there's a specific arsenal of tools you need to become an MC. Now, or to be a great MC, I should say. Like obviously you have to know how to rhyme, but we're talking about storytelling, being creative, being original, knowledge of self, you know what I'm saying, having rhythm, having flow. These are all things that are, knowing how to storytell. These are all things that are entailed in a great MC. And today I want to talk about one of my favorite MCs, B.I.G., Biggie Smalls. Yes, I'm from New York City. I don't know, call it a bias thing if you want. I don't feel I'm a biased person. I love Pac. I grew up in the 90s. I was born in 82. I'm 36 right now. So, I feel like I lived through that golden era of hip hop. So I definitely was into your Pacs, your Tribe Called Quest, your Busta Rhymes was one of my favorite rappers in the 90s. Redman, Method Man. So I was definitely, I'm well rounded. Snoop, just so none of y'all can't say I ain't named, Snoop, uh, Dre, even though he didn't really write for himself, but the Dog Pound. I used to love Corrupt. So I just want to let you know I'm pretty well rounded. But Big is one of my favorites. He's one of my favorite MCs. Period. Probably my favorite, but I'm gonna reserve judgment on that. Big is probably one of my favorite, probably my favorite MCs, but he's definitely one of my favorite MCs. He had the best stories, the best of his time, the best stories, the best lyrics. Even now, like I got a story to tell. You could still pump that now. So he had the best stories, the best flows. Lyrics was witty, punchlines. He gave you all sides of the story. He was able to paint a picture. And let's not take anything away. It's hot as Africa in here. It's hot as hell up in here right now. It's like 90 degrees today in New York City, but it's real humid out here. So y'all gonna see the sweat. I can see it all on the camera. Y'all gonna be seeing me sweat on cam. You can't edit that out. Ain't no final cutting that out. But so Biggie had all these aspects. He had flavor. He had what they call swag. It's called swag now. And it probably was called swag back then, but he just had that it factor. You know what I'm saying? And one of my favorite things about Biggie is the way that he would transition from one rhyme scheme to the next. He had the smoothest transition between rhyme schemes. And what do I mean rhyme scheme? So a rhyme scheme is going from rhyming one word to rhyming another word. For example, like if my first rhyme scheme is I went to the store, 1, 2, 3, 4. Your mother is poor. So if that's my first rhyme scheme, or if that's one rhyme scheme, then another rhyme scheme would be y'all can't read. I'ma stop the way y'all breathe. Y'all really need to leave. That's another rhyme scheme. So he was very good at going from one rhyme scheme to the next rhyme scheme and doing it in the most smoothest way possible. A lot of rappers go from one rhyme scheme to a next or one flow to a next, but they didn't do it as smooth as Biggie. Like somebody could be like, I'm going to the store. Your mother is a whore. She can't leave. I don't believe. It's like it's not as fluent as Biggie. Like for example, he went from Jesus to chillin'. First rhyme scheme was Jesus. The second rhyme scheme that he transitioned to was chillin'. And it was smoothly done. Jesus, still notorious, just please us with your lyrical thesis.
We just chillin', milk 'em, top billin', silkin', pure linen, me and little.
So his rhyme schemes were just ill, like just transitioning from one rhyme scheme to the next. And if you look across his music, he does that everywhere. He went from in the song Hypnotized, hot, sicker than your average, Papa Twist cabbage off instinct, niggas don't think shit stink, pink, Gators, my Detroit players. So he went from the ink rhyme scheme to the Gators rhyme scheme. Niggas don't think shit stink pink Gators. So that is such a smooth transition. And yeah, there's a couple of rules to it. One rule is when you're transitioning from one rhyme scheme to the next thing you should be talking about or that you're talking about should have something to do with what you spoke about in the previous bar. Like how he said, we just chillin', milk 'em, top billin'. So it kind of finished it off so your brain kind of reconciles it in a more smooth way. So I'm always shocked. I was talking to one of the homies the other day, who's a musician, a great musician, sings very well. My guy. But he kept it real. And on the square, we're gonna keep it real. He said he respects Biggie, but he thinks Biggie was overrated.
I've been going just a little too hard, but I've been doing these doubles trying to pull us out. We've been going through the in and outs. Nah, he was definitely dope. He was definitely dope. Overrated. Mostly by Brooklyn and New York. You know what I'm saying? He was dope. He ain't lived long enough to get the accolades. He ain't have a body of work strong enough to achieve the accolades that he got. Not calling him whack, but at the end of the day, in this business, you gotta have a body of work. You know what I'm saying? He was off to a great start. You know what I'm saying? Just like how Puerto Ricans do punt. He's dope as fuck, but he's not the greatest he only did an album and a half. He wasn't even alive for the second album.
So just his skill level from that alone and the storytelling and how he was able to paint a vivid picture. I got a story to tell. Sky's the limit. What's beef? Missing you. Suicidal thoughts. Everyday struggle. Like, Biggie was really of his time and even before his time, because even now when I listen to a lot of his stuff, it's still relevant. I'm not taking anything away from everybody else, but this time I'm talking about Big, and Big had that style with it too, that wit. Niggas is mad, I get more butt than ashtrays. Fuck a fair one, I get mine the fast way. Ski man, like that whole verse was ill to me. It was one of the illest verses on that song. There was a bunch of hot verses on that song, but I think, in my opinion, Big takes that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why he's one of my favorites. That's why he's one of my favorites. Really wasn't nobody that I feel came that close in that era of having great transitions from one rhyme scheme to the next, like Biggie did. Like, I don't know what I'm big on transitions and rhyme schemes. I don't know, like I do film, so like transitions from one scene to the next is big. You know, transitions from one piece of footage to the next is big. So it's like, you know, I guess transitions are a big thing. It has to be done smoothly. And his lyrical content was also ill. I would have loved to see where Biggie would have went if he had been given the extra time to grow and his life wasn't, you know, taken from him at such an early age. Big was 24 when he died. I'm 36 now. So I can imagine, like, my thoughts from now, the age of 36, from when I was 24, 25, way different. And even then, what they were rapping about was way out of what I was living when I was 24, 25 years old. So, you know, that speaks to their experience and it speaks to their skill level. But yeah, man. So Big's definitely one of my favorites. That's why he definitely goes down as one of my favorites. I'm not gonna just keep babbling on. My hair itching right now. It's heat. It's hot. I'm gonna go ahead and get cool. Peace.